y'all's a boss. Y'all's I just like that there. Well, how you feels about it? Well, I don't know about it. And they were the ones who created rolling the eyes. So now the African Americans are sitting out there looking at these white entertainers. They go, wait a minute, I can do better than they're doing.
El musical se apropió de algunos elementos del minstrel show, el baile, los interludios cómicos, el travestismo. Pero pocos artistas negros del minstrel llegaron al escenario de Broadway. Egbert Williams, un inmigrante de las Antillas, pasó del minstrel a la aclamación internacional, deleitando al público con sus números cómicos y un baile llamado Cake Walk. Y en 1903, Williams fue el protagonista de In the Homey, el primer musical de larga duración escrito e interpretado por negros en Broadway.
The only way to make it on the stage in America during that time was to black up, who wear blackface. Hurt him to the quick. But he used it as a social statement. And behind that mask, he could say anything he wanted to.
On stage, Bert Williams, throughout his career, portrayed one character, the shuffling black coon, as he put it. Williams, though, did something to the character. He almost turned it inside out. He became the fool who speaks with the voice of the wise man.
If you listen to his lyrics and listen to his character that he portrayed, though he made people laugh, he made them think. And for that time, the early 1900s, that was unheard of.
When life seems full of clouds and rain, and I am full of nothing and pain, who soothes my thumping brain? Nobody.
The song Nobody was his signature presentation. It's about an individual who is so turned off by his treatment in society that he has decided he's never doing anything for anyone else. But Williams, with a flick of the eye or a turn of the shoulders, could turn this into something where the audience could both feel for him and laugh with him.
Antes de aparecer en el mismo espectáculo que un negro, muchos de los artistas de Ziegfeld amenazaron con dejarlo. Ziegfeld los puso en evidencia. «Dejadlo si queréis», dijo. «Puedo sustituiros a todos excepto al hombre que queréis que despida».
I have never been able to discover that there was anything disgraceful in being a colored man, but I have often found it inconvenient. Bert Williams.
En su contrato de las Follies, Williams estipulaba que no iría de gira por el sur y que no aparecería en el escenario con mujeres blancas.
There's an apocryphal story that tells you a lot about Bert Williams. He walked into a bar. He asked the bartender for a martini. The bartender looked at him and said, "That'll be $1,000. And Bert Williams, without saying a word, opened his coat, took out his wallet, and put $5,000 bills on the bar and said, "I'll have 5." He had the humor of pain.
I don't know how to talk about art. My job is to make them laugh, and when they laugh, I know it's going. If I were free to do as I liked, I would give both sides, the pathos as well as the fun. But the public knows me for certain things. If I attempt anything outside of those things, I'm not Bert Williams.
I never do love nobody, no time.
I was a little Russian-born kid, son of an Orthodox rabbi, living on the Lower East Side of New York City. I never felt poverty because I'd never known anything else. We had an enormous family. In the summer, some of us slept on the fire escape or on the roof. I slept better in tenement houses than I do now in a nice bed. Irving Berlin.
You can imagine in 1893, a little boy arriving from Russia, Izzy Berlin, knowing no English. He said, we look so strange there at Ellis Island in what he called our Jew clothes. Completely out of place in this world.
His father taught him to sing. He would have sung in temple on the high holidays. So that music, that melancholy, minor, chromatic music went in the ear. Then there'd be the organ grinders playing Italian opera, and there'd be ragtime and minstrel music. He had an ear not just for the musical melody and for the rhythm, but for the sound of speech.
En 1907, como camarero cantante de uno de los bares del Bowery, Izzy escribió la letra de su primera canción en un dialecto italiano.
My sweet Mary, from sunny Italy, oh, how I do love you. Say that you love me too. Forevermore I will be.
On the first piece of music, it was a printer's error. Berlin instead of Berlin. Berlin was hard for people to pronounce. And he let it go. And he thought, that's a good name for an American songwriter.
Solo había un sitio al que Berlín podía ir para ser compositor. No a Broadway, sino a una pequeña manzana de la calle 28, en la que se oían los pianos a través de cada ventana. Se llamaba Tin Pan Alley.
Tin Pan Alley was a couple of blocks in the 20s where all the song publishers set up shop. You sold the songs for a dime. Remember, no radio. Remember, no television. Remember, every house had a piano in the living room. That was a sign of great class.
Al establecerse en Tin Pan Alley, Berlín vendió distintas canciones a las Follies de Ziegfeld, abriéndoles el camino a distinguidos talentos como Victor Herbert, el mejor compositor de operetas de Norteamérica, y Jerome Kern, cuyas canciones a menudo daban un sabor norteamericano a los musicales británicos. Pero Berlín fue el primero en escribir un musical norteamericano incorporando el nuevo ritmo de la música popular, el ragtime.
It's hard for us to imagine now, but ragtime in 1910 was scandalous. It was like rap music. It spelled the end of civilization as we knew it. But in 1911, Irving Berlin writes a ragtime song that suddenly makes ragtime safe. It's not threatening. It's, come on along, let me take you to the man. Once he has this enormous hit, Broadway opens its doors to Irving Berlin and to ragtime.
Entre 1914 y 1962, Irving Berlin compuso casi 2 docenas de shows para Broadway y encontró el modo de utilizar la música para captar el espíritu de su país de adopción.
Jerome Kern was once asked to place Irving Berlin in the history of American song. And Jerome said, Irving Berlin has no place in American music. Irving Berlin is American music.
Every nation, it seems, sailed across with their dreams to my New York. Every color and race found a comfortable place in my New York. The Dutchman bought Manhattan Island for a flask of booze, then sold controlling interest to the Irish and the Jews. And what chance has a Jones with the Cones and Malones in my New York?
En 1909, Irving Berlin le proporcionó una canción a una joven cómica y le sugirió que la cantara con un falso acento judío. No tardó en convertirse en el sello característico de Fanny Brice.
Everyone was singing, dancing, springing at the wedding yesterday. Eagle on his fiddle played some ragtime, and when Sadie heard him play.
Cuando Ziegfeld la contrató en 1910 por $75 a la semana, Brice se fue corriendo por Broadway con el contrato, mostrándoselo a todo el que se encontraba.
It's very interesting to see Fanny Brice as a Ziegfeld star. When you think that Ziegfeld's mantra for the American woman was beauty. Here was a garrulous, certainly not by any standards, physically beautiful woman whose humor was all based on the pratfall, the wide eyes, the raucous delivery.
Fanny Brice was one of those incredible talents who was a comic, who was a mimic, who was a singer, who was a dancer, who could do practically everything.
And though he's a no schlemiel, still he's got sex appeal. Die Fäsche, Herr letzte Hemsachtäsche. Then I know right away that sucker is crazy to
In anything Jewish I ever did, I wasn't standing apart, making fun. I was the race. And what happened to me on stage is what could happen to my people. They identified with me, which made it all right to get a laugh. Fanny Brice.
Fanny! Fanny! Have you fainted? Can't you see I have your chump? Get me some whiskey!
En un viaje a París, Florence Ziegfeld compró los derechos de una conmovedora canción para Fanny Brice. Fanny pensó en cantarla dándole un efecto cómico, pero Ziegfeld se negó en redondo.
It cost me a lot, but there's one thing that I've got. It's my man. Cold and wet, tired you bet, but all that I soon forget with my man.
She would come out and sing songs like My Man and tear everybody apart. She could have the audience eating out of the palm of her hand.
What I think Ziegfeld was very interested in was she was one of a kind. That she could sing a ballad like My Man, and then she could turn around and do Becky is Back in the Ballet is hysterical. This is enormous versatility. He got 2 for 1 with Fanny Brice.
Oh, it's gorgeous to be graceful, to fleet and float and fly, to make like this and make like that, and let the evening breeze go by.
Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming.
Cuando los estadounidenses se sumaron a la Primera Guerra Mundial en 1917, George M. Cohan se lanzó en ayuda de su país con un número de éxito de Tin Pan Alley inspirado en las 3 primeras notas de un toque de corneta.
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run.
La Primera Guerra Mundial cambió el estilo de la música popular norteamericana cuando una oleada de himnos patrióticos barrió con todo lo demás. Con los jóvenes norteamericanos en el extranjero, en las trincheras, había poco interés por canciones tontas en dialectos extranjeros o por operetas románticas en las que figuraban aristócratas europeos. Ziegfeld hizo saber al público de parte de quién estaba, por supuesto. En el final de las Folies de 1917, no solo aparecían Paul Revere y Abraham Lincoln, sino el propio presidente Woodrow Wilson, pasando revista a las tropas. Tropas compuestas por las chicas de Ziegfeld, claro.
Ready, go!
There were 2 numbers that had the theme of the military. And at one part of the dance routine, we would go down to the footlights, and we would put our foot up on top of the footlights and lean over and sing to the audience that way.
Para dar la bienvenida a casa a los soldados, Ziegfeld creó un extravagante show de una maestría y un coste sin par. Irving Berlin participó con 9 canciones, incluido un número llamado Mandy.
I was strolling down one evening by the silvery moon. I could hear somebody singing.
I started in the Follies in the New Amsterdam Theater. I was just a chorus girl. But in 1919, I became Marilyn Miller's understudy. She was famous, of course, for the Mandy routine that Irving Berlin wrote. Mandy, there's a minister handy.